Hi, I'm Dale Paulin, and welcome to the Cadence podcast series. This is Cadence Management Corporation's podcast number 108 and is the second in a three-part series where we focus on keeping your projects moving forward. You can find the first and third podcasts in this series on the Cadence website or on iTunes with a search under Cadence Management. Okay, so today I have with me John Patton. John is the president and CEO of Cadence and founded Cadence in 1983. His career has touched on just about every aspect of project management. He not only runs the company, but also provides project management training and consulting services to Cadence clients around the world. And John, you've been a busy man lately.
Yeah, I'm not traveling. I've got a good break now at the end of the year. Won't be traveling until mid-January. So it's wrapping up the year and doing the business planning for the coming year.
Mm-hmm. That's always exciting. Good way to just wrap it all, tie it all off.
Good reflection.
Sure. Well, so John, as you know, when Cadence holds one of our project management seminars, attendees are always encouraged to fill out what we call the problem cards. And that gives some detail to us related to a current problem they run into in the course of managing their projects. And as we go through those problem cards, we try and pick out common themes, and those are what drive our podcasts. And the problem theme we're looking at today is that middle part of the project, where it might feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit.
Yeah, we call it the messy middle.
Yeah, appropriately named, I guess. So in this series, we try to pass on 3 key points of focus for project managers as some key takeaways from the podcast. And so, John, maybe you can start off by telling us what this issue is really all about, and what are some key areas you want to focus on today?
Okay, Dale. Well, let me just describe the scenario. You're getting into the middle of the project. You've run into a bunch of problems. The team, to keep up with the schedule, is responding. They're putting in quite a bit of overtime, and it's been a month of overtime. Momentum seems to be lost, and the team spirit is starting to decline, and you even are starting to feel a little bit of doubts about yourself and your abilities. First of all, the key things I'm going to address, Dale, on this one is it's normal.
Okay.
It's going to happen on nearly every project. They don't run like clockwork. There are times when the going just gets tough.
And that has to be a little reassuring, probably.
Well, you learn to expect it. So we'll talk about that and prepare for it. And then it calls for leadership on the part of the project manager. Now, I'm going to talk about what to do in a one-day stand-down on the project that breaks up this loss of momentum and can restore it as well. And then finally, I'm going to talk about what to do if you've turned inwards and they're starting to feel down on yourself. I'm going to give you a very good exercise that really works.
Okay, great. Well, so before you jump into that, let's start at the beginning now. What are some of the causes of that? And maybe you can go into more detail on those points.
Well, there are quite a few, Dale. Let's first recognize that when we're planning a project, we're dealing with the future, and that's an imprecise activity. So we may have done a good plan, we may not have done a good plan. The things that you can see unraveling under stress is the possibility that we underestimated the amount of work. We were too optimistic when we were getting into our scheduling, for example. Could be that we wanted adequate resources for this project, but we're short a headcount or two, so we're understaffed at this point on it. That could be through turnover, could be from management decisions. Sometimes we uncover a couple of deliverables that really need to be in scope, and somehow we miss them. So that expands the work of the project.
Okay.
Other times it's incorrect assumptions, either at the deliverables level or in the schedule, and they're turning out to be false. Some of them are positive, they're coming true, but others are not coming true. And then finally, there's that stuff of technical difficulty, political difficulty. It's just harder than we thought it would be technically.
Mm-hmm.
And there's political noise surrounding the project and coming at the project.
Okay. And stepping back to that assumptions piece for a second, how do you go back when you're so far along in a project? How do you go about getting the real or accurate assumptions that hold true today?
Well, we have a technique for recording the assumptions when we are planning,
okay.
And these can be project-level assumptions, deliverables-level assumptions, or task-level assumptions. We're tracking them as part of regular schedule tracking as we're going through the project. And when we find out, let's say that an assumption surrounding a deliverable is not coming true, we can revisit that deliverable and update the portion of the plane that that deliverable occurs in.
Okay.
So that's just a little corrective action on how to handle assumptions.
Okay. Okay. So we sort of know what causes it now. How do good project managers keep this from impacting their projects, and how do they have a better way to see it happening, understand it, and keep it from either dragging their projects out or keeping them from being delivered properly?
Well, remember I talked about leadership here,
right.
Dale, and quite often you need to reassert and take charge of the project and give people a pause, time to reflect, but make it useful. And I'm talking about the one-day stand down. And we're going to do that to replan the remaining work on the project.
Wait, so for a whole day, so everybody has to stop what they're doing and commit for the day. People that might already be a little fatigued from the project themselves, and do a full day stand down.
Yeah, they're going to get off work on time the previous day. We're going to ask them to get plenty of rest the night before this stand down. We're going to hold it in an off-site location. We're going to give them a good breakfast. We're going to work hard during the day, and we're going to have some kind of evening activity that matches the recreational bias or desire that particular team will have. Different teams like to relax in different ways. But let's focus on the hard work of the day. I'm not going to say replan because that has some really bad connotations.
Sure.
I'm going to say we're going to confirm the remaining work on the project, making adjustments as necessary. So we're going to start with that scope in the project plan and go right through it, confirming, updating as we go.
Okay.
Now, a byproduct of planning is going to be a list of key issues facing the project. And we're going to divide that list of key issues into the technical issues and the political issues. These key technical issues are going to be escalated up the technical management chain to see where those managers can bring in expertise and resource to help us remove those obstacles. The political issues we're going to escalate to the sponsor and seek the sponsor's support and advice to deal with these things that just are running around the project and the buzz, the negative buzz that tends to be going. And we're going to have to be very clear on how we're defining them. So the team will work on that as well.
Okay.
Now, the final thing here, Dale, is for the project managers that have turned inwards and not feeling so good about themselves. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is that I've been there. I've been in their shoes. And the project is really tough going, and I'm now starting to question my own skills, not feeling so good about myself. And
sure,
maybe I've been in this company long enough. And I recommend this exercise of writing your resume, update your resume, and update your LinkedIn profile. Recognizing that when you update your resume, you can't say bad things about yourself.
Sure.
Your self-talk has been saying some bad things, but now you're going to concentrate on saying the good things, because if you want to be hired by some other company, you want to look really attractive. And I've had that feeling, where I've updated my resume, I look at it and say, I'm better than this project. I can handle it. I can take the challenge. Right. I'm going to see it through. And I'm saying also update your LinkedIn profile. When you update your LinkedIn profile, all of your connections get notified that you've got an update going, that you've updated your profile. So they may respond back to you. They may ask some questions. Now, if you've got a really tough political problem going on the project, don't forget about your LinkedIn network. You can send out a question. There are project management groups that you could list this political issue, genericize it so it's not embarrassing to anybody in your company, but get it out there and get the advice of your peers. Looking outwards as opposed to inwards could be a great help for the project manager that's feeling a little down.
Okay, that's a good point. We've all been there. Okay, well, So let me just reiterate the key points then for us. Number one, this is normal, and it's probably a little bit reassuring for some people that feel like they're caught in that messy middle. Some project managers in the messy middle, and that it does call for leadership on the part of the project manager to be able to step forward. Then they have to be able to realize it, step forward, and take some corrective action, and make sure that they're on top of it. And if they are feeling down on themselves, there are things that they can do, exercise and activities they can do.
Yeah, Dale, that's it. The main message here is it happens, so expect it. If you're expecting it, as a good project manager, prepare for it. Know when to take action. Know when to assert your leadership at the right point in the middle of the project when it's seeming to you that things are starting to unravel.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Well, thanks, John. I appreciate your time today.
Pleasure.
And we will see you again on another Cadence podcast.
Looking forward to it.
And thanks for joining us for the second of 3 podcasts on keeping your projects moving forward. Remember, you can find the other 2 podcasts in this 3-part series, The Slow Start and The Eternal Ending, on the Cadence website at cadencemc.com or in iTunes with a search on Cadence Management.